and welcome to Barney Arns TV. Today we're in Coventry and we'll keep on sewing to take a look at the brand new Creative Icon 2. Come and have a look. This is our lovely Pam. This is the lady who is responsible for the retreats herself. How long have you been doing this now?
Oh gosh, over 20 years
20
now.
years, older than me. So this is the room that we're going to be doing all of the demos over the weekend. We've got the Icon 2 here today, so let's come and have a look at it. This supersedes the original Icon. Some are now calling it the Icon 1. But we'll leave that up to interpretation. So as you can see on this home screen here, we have a slightly redesigned user experience. First thing we need to look at is the actual help center. We can actually see that the number of resources has gone from, I think it's 109 to something like 151. So we can now find this and navigate up to the top of the screen in here to get onto the resource center. And we've listed everything that we need into categories. So we have the techniques and tutorials, quick start guide, user guide, sewing instructions, stabilizer guide, accessory guide, and needle guide. So if we have a quick look into techniques and tutorials, if you wanted to go into sewing techniques, for example, and go and look at exclusive stitch techniques, and you're not sure how to do a double ribbon stitch within the Icon 2, you can click it here. It'll open the sewing mode, and then it will give you a step-by-step instruction on how to complete a ribbon stitch. And you'll also be able to watch the film to watch how they do it as well. Okay, so talking about ribbon stitches on the FAF Creative Icon 2, I've just opened the stitch menu here to find a single ribbon stitch, and we've put it onto our 10.2 inch user face, almost similar to an iPad or a tablet. You may have noticed we've got this new text up here in red that actually says incorrectly attached foot. This is brand new technology that is now available on the Creative Icon 2. This is called Artificial Intelligence Presser Foot Recognition. We can see which foot you're using in your ankle. It'll tell you if you've got the wrong foot or the right foot inserted, and it will also tell you if you've got your foot in the wrong way. As we're working our way around the sewing side of the Creative Icon 2, another really nice touch that they've done is on all of the icons that you see on the screen here, they used to be just an icon without a description, and now they all have a description on one layer to make it a lot easier to navigate through the interface. So for example, if you were to go into Edit Stitch here, what you can see is now it's actually showing you the width, the length, and the metering as a visual description. And if there's any icons here that you cannot sort of see a description for, you press the information button here, and it gives you a full display and explanation for each one here. Okay, so the last feature we're going to look at on the sewing mode of the new Creative Icon 2 is the projector mode. The new grid, the new functionality, the new ability to be able to customize and see your stitch before you even stitched it is revolutionary. So let's take a look. So if we're going to go and find a stitch now, we're currently on a utility stitch, but let's go to something a bit more fun like a decorative stitch, and let's go for something like a leaf. And then if we press this button here, which is the projector mode, we now have a new menu that's just come up. So the first thing you can do, if you notice just this area here, is you can change the brightness of your workspace. So if you're working in the night or if you're working during the day, you can customize it, but also you can reduce the light if you're going to be working on maybe darker fabrics and you want to see the projector mode a little bit more. So let's just keep the work light a bit low for now, and we're going to now turn the projector on. You may have just seen it in the corner on the left. Now it's fully customizable, so you can change the brightness of the projector, you can change the background color, you can change the stitch preview, and you can also change the grid and give yourself 2 extra lines for stitch guides, which we'll come on to in a second. So let's just have a look and see how that's actually come out. So if we go over this side, you can now see that you've got a grid, which is fully customizable. You've got the stitch that you're looking to do, and let's say I want to go and change my stitch and go for a leaf. It will change it and it will show how big the stitch is going to be when you stitch it out lifetime as well. Another great feature is you can also change the width of the grid up to 30 mil. So if we go onto the grid now and we change the grid size to, let's say, 30, we can completely change the size of the grid. The other nice touch which you can do on this side is when you go down to the stitch guides, like I said to you before, you've got 2 stitch guides available, one of which is just turned off at the moment, and the other one which I'm just about to turn on now. You can now see this white line coming to the right, which is at 45 degrees. I'm going to change the angle of position to 0. And now, if I change the horizontal position, let's say the stitch is a 9 mil swing, and I put it to a plus of 4.5 mil, you can now case your stitch to the right and left and have a perfect line and guide. While we're in the sew menu here, I'm just going to quickly talk about the other huge new feature on the Pfaff Creative Icon 2. It now has voice control. So no, it doesn't make your cup of tea, but it does everything else but, essentially. You're now able to talk to your Creative Icon 2. You can get it to open up embroidery designs. You can get it to go to utility stitches or open monograms. And it's just one of the things that Pfaff has done to essentially make the user experience that little bit easier. Okay, so let's jump into the embroidery mode on the new Pfaff Creative Icon 2. So if we press this button here, it brings us into the embroidery edit suite. So this is where you're going to be able to bring all your designs in, fully customizable. You can scale, you can vector, you can add layers, you can add alphabet, you can do all sorts of customization in this mode here. So same again with the sewing. You've got all of your logos and categories on the bottom here, which are easily sort of explained underneath as well. So let's go into hoop options first. You can see a full list of all of the hoops that are available for the Pfaff Creative Icon 2, including the Creative Grand Dream hoop, which is actually Pfaff's largest embroidery hoop and also the largest domestic embroidery hoop, which is a 360mm by 350mm hoop. So one of the new features that is available on the Pfaff Creative Icon 2 is the fact that all icons and epics are all Wi-Fi enabled, so they all connect and speak to the mySewnet software. Now, the first machine to be able to now integrate the patterns and designs within the embroidery edit suite is this new Pfaff Creative Icon 2. So if we press this button here, as long as you're connected to the internet on your machine, we've got a bit of dodgy internet at the moment, so apologies for the slight delay, you're actually able to now see all 7,000 designs that are in the mySewnet software. You find one that you like, let's say the giraffe. And now it's straight in to your embroidery suite, which is now able to edit. You can now add text, you can now add layers and do anything you want to do within that suite. So let's use this giraffe as an example, and this can actually also show you one of the other new features on the new Creative Icon 2, which is the projector mode, where it will actually allow you to change and edit whereabouts the giraffe is going to show into your hoop. So if you press the projector button again here and you turn it on, the embroidery arm will come and recalibrate across. It's asking me to put the creative square 120 by 120 mil hoop in. So let's go ahead and do that now. So this is one I've already basted. So we're just going to go ahead and press OK on the screen. It's going to give it a quick scan. And now what it's done is it's projected the giraffe onto the embroidery hoop. So if you need to change the placement of your embroidery design within the hoop, you can go ahead and just hold the design down and move it to whichever part of the hoop you want it to be placed in. Okay, so while we're talking about this fantastic new projector, you may have noticed that we've now put an example into, well, floating above the hoop of something we're now going to scan using the camera on the Icon 2. So if we go into and press this button here in the hoop options, what we can now see in the top right hand corner is the start hoop scan. So what this is actually going to do is the camera in the icon is going to scan the whole design, which of course normally would be inside the hoop, and let's see what happens. Note we've also taken the presser foot off as well. This will make scanning just an awful lot easier. Okay, so let's have a look and see how that's happened. So we go into the background, we press the background colour here. We change it from the background colour to the scanned hoop, press OK, go off hoop options, and now what we've got is the area in which you can now edit and add designs onto your pre-existing embroidery design or pattern that's in the hoop. So you can use it for precise positioning, or you can add some elements or embroidery to the design. So let's say, for example, we want to add a flower in there. We can precisely put it to the area that we would want to embroider that above. So let's say there. Okay, so I hope no one's going to be getting any inspiration from my obvious lack of creativity here. I have just changed the flower just to show you as a representative example. So before we actually stitch this out, what you can also do is now go into the colour palette. Okay, in this case we only have one colour, but if you click on the colour and you change the colour, you're now able to go into the thread, and sometimes there might be 5 or 6 different options. You're now able to choose from all of these variation of thread brands. Now, if you've got the shade cards for any of these threads, let's say the Madeira Rayon 60 or 40, it means that you can then accurately add those, put your Pantone colour into there, and you can get the exact colour of the stitch out that you wish. And that's brand new on the Creative Icon 2 as well, so really nice touch. Okay, and last but not least, we have the brand new Pfaff Creative Icon 2 embellishment attachment, which now not only does 3D ribbon embroidery, but can also do beads and cording and piping. So let's take a look at that. So here's one I did earlier. So we've gone for one of the designs which is inbuilt in the Icon 2. We've got all the beading around the outsides, got the 3D ribbon embroidery, and then the cording to make up the body of the butterfly. So yeah, a really nice, unique embellishment feature that is only available on the Pfaff Creative Icon 2. Okay, so if you've made it this far in the video, you're probably wondering what this Creative Icon 2 actually comes with. So let's have a quick look at all of the things included in the welcome offer at Barnyarn. So you've got obviously the box for your Creative Icon and the Creative Icon embroidery unit. So including in the launch offer, we're actually throwing in a sewing embroidery kit, which is, you know, quite consistent with the Icon 2 branding here. So there's 2 layers on this. We've got the scissors, we've got the tweezers, we've got the tape measures and some needles. And then if we go underneath here, we've also got a really nice range of Gutermann metallic, top stitch, sewing and sulky thread in there. So that'll get you going as a sort of starter set. If we look just behind it, we've got the limited edition quilter set, which again is in the really nice hardened, premium magnetic box actually with the Pfaff branding on. And in here you get your ruler set, so your quilter's ruler set. I think it's a 6-inch squared, a 12x6, and then the rotary cutter and needles, which is a really nice magnetic hard closed box. You obviously get your Pfaff Creative Icon 2. This is the embellishment attachment we showed you earlier, which actually has 2 connections on here. So it has one for the ribbon, which is currently in at the moment, and then it also has one which you just click on, which is for the sequence beadings and cord, so that's really nice. And that actually comes with the welcome offer, which is worth £500 in itself. So really nice, generous addition from Pfaff there. You also get the multi-function foot control. So you do get the pedal that comes with the machine, but the upgrade to that is essentially a completely bespoke tool for foot pedal, so you can program the sides, the heel, for example, the heel to tie off. If you're an industrial machine user, you'll obviously understand that a bit more than people who maybe are just domestic machine users. That's the box for the embellishment attachment that comes with the machine itself. And then look at this. This is the Pfaff luggage set for the new Icon 2. So I don't think it actually does it justice on camera, to be honest with you, but if we just take a quick look into here, the material actually used inside is really, really premium. And you've got a box for all of your accessories here, so you can put every single foot into this bag. They've got the layers within the bag, so you can actually have a specific slot for every single one of your accessories, and there's even a manual for how to put them into your bag in the most organised, efficient manner. So great for people like me who's got a little bit of OCD when it comes to that. You've got the bottom luggage bag, which is for the Icon 2 to sit in. So if you ever need to take it to a class and you have a car big enough to actually hold all of the luggage set, then that is absolutely fantastic. And then you've got the classic guitar style case for the embroidery arm, which makes the set, so the set of 3, which is worth £800 in itself. So all in all, I think it's a £2,500 welcome offer you're getting with the machine. So a really nice bundle from Pfaff. Thank you all for watching the video on the Creative Icon 2. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope there's been a bit of information in there that you can take away from it. I've had a great weekend here with Pam with Keep On Sewing in Coventry. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave them below, and also like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.